What's happening, fellas? If you watch the channel, you probably watched this roll off the truck about 2 months ago. A friend of mine named Mike right here in Connecticut had a collection of restored Suzuki and Kawasaki Minis and some XR75s, and this was the only big bike in his collection. This is an XR200. It has 956 original miles on it. It's mostly all original. The fuel tank, the paint on the fuel tank is original. The seat cover is original. The fenders are original. We did quite a bit of work to it, about 53 hours of shop labor. This is one of the few bikes he hadn't restored yet. So we took the engine out of the frame, went through the whole engine. I'll get into that in a second. It's been completely gone through with all new gaskets and seals, and the cylinder has been honed and the valves have been relapped. And then once the engine was done, we went through all the cosmetics on the bike. I'll get into that a little bit later, but you can take a look. It's a super rare 45-year-old classic XR200. This was the first year of the 200. There were 175s before this. The thing's a real wheelie machine. Absolutely bulletproof. This is back when they were made in Japan. Now the Honda Minis, the play bikes are made mostly in Taiwan, Indonesia, or China. The quality is not, I don't know if they'll last as long as these did, but these are absolutely freaking bulletproof. CDI ignition. Carbureted perfectly. Clutch, transmission, everything on these are awesome. Let me fire it up, give you a quick riding demo. This is the original 1980 crossbar pad on this bike, which is freaking remarkable that it was preserved this well. Fires up first kick and it purrs like a kitten. Idles beautifully. It's carbureted perfectly. It looks, sounds, and runs like a brand new motorcycle. I mean, where else are you going to find a 956 mile, 45-year-old classic? Most of these are owned by young fellas who had nothing better to do than run tank after tank after tank of fuel through them all summer long. Most of them got destroyed in short order. The original front fender is in remarkably good condition. The original headlight, the gauge, speedometers, all original componentry. Let me give you a quick riding demo. I've been accused of being stuck in the 80s, but you know what? That's okay with me because the bikes back then were freaking awesome. These were bulletproof. You could ride them all day long, every day, tank after tank of fuel. And it was a simpler time. There was no internet. We didn't have beepers back then. There was black and white TV. You could watch Gilligan's Island or Batman, and that's about it. And so we didn't watch a lot of TV. We were outside. We'd come home, have some toast and some cereal, and hop on our minis and go out and ride. And most of these were ridden into the ground in short order. In a few years, they'd have thousands of miles on them. This one was owned by a collector, 956 original miles, and they're an absolute hoot to ride. Old and have nothing better to do when you got home from school but ride this thing. Let's fast forward 45 years. Now you're 62 years old and you're retired. How cool would it be to have this thing to ride around this summer? Take it anywhere you want to go. She purrs like a kitten. It runs absolutely perfect. It's carbureted beautifully, and it doesn't miss a beat, man. Low miles, original paint, original seat cover, original tool bag, has original plastics on it. The original owner took off the original taillight on it and replaced it with this more of an enduro style, a little more sleeker looking taillight. If you wanted to put one of the giant funky looking originals on there, I'm sure they're available. But let me grab the work order because there's been so much done to this bike since we got it from Mike that I don't want to miss anything. So starting off with the engine, the engine was removed from the frame, dismantled, tuned and massaged to perfection here at Kaplan Cycles by Devin. The parts has a new spark plug in it. He completely rebuilt and resealed the top end. The cylinder was honed. He lapped the valves. While it was dismantled, he sandblasted and vapor honed the cylinder and the head, so it looked like he just came out of the crate 45 years ago. New top end gasket kit, new base gasket, new head gasket, new valve seals. Timed, then rebuilt the top end with new gaskets, new shift shaft seal, professionally cleaned and evapor-rusted the interior of the original fuel tank, installed a new fuel cap gasket, a new fuel petcock, new fuel lines, removed, of course, the carb was cleaned, rebuilt, and tuned. Devin did a phenomenal job on the tuning of the carb. It doesn't backfire. You can rev it right up and let it idle down, and it just runs beautifully. It's carbureted perfectly. New carb vent lines. The air box was cleaned with a new air filter installed. So engine's been completely gone through. While the bike was apart and the engine was out, he sent it down to detail and they went over all the rest of it. I'll get into that in a second. But he also installed a new Dunlop 952 front tire, tubes, and rim band. And the rear tire is a new matching Dunlop 952 tire, tube, and rim band. He also installed a new gold chain. While he had it apart, he installed brand new rear brake shoes, new taillight bulb, has new OEM Honda replacement handlebar grips. Gave it a complete 100-point nut and bolt check over. He had it in the service department in the detail shop. It was 19 and a half hours in service and 34 hours in the detail shop. The detail shop did quite a bit of work on the bike. While it was dismantled, the frame, rails, and swing arm were repainted. The side covers here were removed and repainted the original Honda red, and new decals were installed. The chain guide was removed, restored, and repainted. The rear sprocket was detailed. When the rim was off, they detailed the hub and repainted the hub and cleaned the rim and the spokes. The shocks were dismantled. The springs were removed. The shock body was painted the original Honda red. The shock springs were repainted. The swing arm was repainted. The kickstand was restored and repainted as the spring was vapor blasted. It's just bare raw aluminum. The pegs were removed, sandblasted, repainted. All the hardware was cleaned up. The shifter was removed and repainted. The engine cover was covers were repainted. The aluminum protective plate on the bottom was sanded and restored also. Let's see, the front brake hub was also repainted. While the wheel was off, they also repainted the front forks. The original Honda, I believe it's called Cloud Silver. The brake cable looks to be brand new. The hub was cleaned and painted. The rim was cleaned. The front fender was restored by John Lee. John's been with me for coming up on 20 years now. There were some scratches in it, and he had sanded it down through it's like a 7-stage process, 7 stages of sandpaper, and then they buff it. So it's a lot of work. It's hours of work just into the front fender, literally. This is the original headlight and front number plate, original handlebars, original bar cover. Everything was cleaned. Some of the components were touched up if they needed it. The original tank was given a 3-stage buff and wax, and then was sealed with new coat ceramic sealant once a year polish. This is the original factory paint, unretouched on the fuel tank. It's just remarkable to have, a trail bike that's 45 years old with an original it's a metal tank, guys. Not like the cheap Chinese plastic stuff today. It's a metal fuel tank. The original seat cover is intact. The foam is good. There was a defect on this side. The original owner had used a plastic repair kit on it. We thought about replacing the seat cover, and we said, you know what, it's original. We're just going to leave it on there. This side cover was repainted. New XR200 logo was installed. The exhaust system was removed, sandblasted, and repainted in new hardware, and new nuts holding on and new hardware. So that was all that, and the muffler was restored also and painted. There are 3 dings in the muffler here, which are on the original muffler, which isn't uncommon. It was, it's a 45-year-old motorcycle. It's going to have some beauty marks on it. I believe these are the original fork rubbers, but I'm not 100% sure. I know we didn't put new ones on there, so that's what it came with to us. You see it has the original Honda sticker on here from 1984. That was carefully taped off, and then they painted around that. The brake lever was painted. The engine case cover was repainted. I think that pretty much summarizes everything that was done to it. It's a total of 34 hours in the detail shop. And not a lot in parts. It was $397 in parts, including the tires, the chain, the tubes, everything else I mentioned, the engine components and gaskets that they were replaced. And it's tuned to perfection. It runs perfect. It's ready to, I don't know if you roll it into the museum or put it in the garage and start riding it as a daily, you could. And it's a very comfortable, easy to ride, lightweight, easy to start, starts first kick, idles perfectly. It's a classic, super, super rare to find in this kind of condition. That's the good news. The bad news is we have a 53-hour work order, 53.5 hours. This proves it's a labor of love, because we probably won't get the investment back I'm sure we won't get the investment back out of it. But if you were a building client like the 6-month backlog we have, it's 53 hours labor at $175 an hour plus $397 in parts plus tax. The work order comes out to over $10,000. It's a $93.62 in labor, $400 in parts plus tax. It's a $10,000 plus work order. The bike's probably worth a little less than that, but where are you going to find one of these? And it's just a labor of love, labor obsession. Once we start on a project like this, it's not so much about the money. It's about, let's make it as good as we can possibly make it. We are a motorcycle museum here. We are a premier restoration shop. I don't think there's anybody in the business that does what we do here with a staff of 25 people. We do it, the graphics in-house. We do all the polishing and vapor blasting, and all the mechanical work is done here. So, cool project. This came from the collection of bikes I got from Mike, as I said earlier. This is the only one that he hadn't restored. We prefer buying them restored if we can, but there's not a lot of restored bikes out there for sale. So we end up doing our own right here. And if you turn around and look, you'll see an entire museum. This floor is a football field long. It's 305 feet long, and there's hundreds of motorcycles in here, all of them restored here at Kaplan Cycles for the New England Motorcycle Museum or for our clients. A few of them were purchased, restored, but most of it, we've had our hands on every one of these, and the inventory turns over here pretty regularly. This is the second floor, mostly museum bikes down here. The third floor, if you go upstairs, that is the Gas dealership, Stark dealership, and you'll see all the used bikes that are restored bikes that are upstairs for sale. So back to this one, it's the last of the Mohicans. I don't think you'll find a cleaner lower mile XR200 anywhere. This one runs like a diamond, and she's ready to go to a new home for another 45 years of fun. This is the kind of bike that is fun to ride all day long. It doesn't beat you up. It's got super plush suspension, long travel. It's got a really comfortable seat with 6 inches of travel on the foam on the seat. So most of them were ridden into the ground because, well, what else was there to do in 1980, right? There was no internet. There was no cell phones. Kids didn't sit in the house or outside riding their bikes and their dirt bikes. And that's why you won't find another one this nice for sale anywhere in the country today. You can go online onto Mecum. You can go online to Bring a Trailer. You can go online to Facebook Marketplace. You won't find one this nice for sale. I just looked today. I didn't see anything even close. So super cool, rare piece. We can finance it in-house through Freedom Road. White glove shipping right to your house. If you want to buy it, call my son, Kenny Jr., and my daughter, Jordan. They run the showroom. Either she or my son will answer the phone at 860-454-7024 and give you top shelf service. We can ship it right to your home. And if you have a trade, we even take trades. So if you have any questions about it, give us a call. Thanks a lot for watching, and God bless America.